Hey everyone. So if you're looking at Quizalize here, my goal for this video is to show you what makes this tool any different than the 1,000 other quiz tools that are out there, and also just give you a quick little tutorial on how to get yourself all set up with your classes. So this tool, like a lot of other quiz tools, has a lot of the same benefits, and that is it's really clean and easy for kids to use. It's really wonderful for like multiple choice and just getting a general assessment of them. Like quizzes and a lot of other good tools out there, it gives you wonderful, clean data on your end so you can really see generally how each kid is doing, what questions people are struggling with, kind of all that stuff. So I'm not going to necessarily take you through all that, but that's one of the benefits of it, is that once you're in there, you'll see you can click on your grade book and you can click on quizzes and you can really see generally how your class is doing, how kids are doing. So it's really clean. But again, a lot of quizzes have a lot of those same features anyway, so what makes this one different? There's two things about this tool that I think make it a little different. And the first is, so if I were to make a new quiz, or let's just say I'm going to assign this one, what it does is it lets you assign content automatically to the kid after their quiz, depending on what score they got, which I think is really, really cool. So if they score below a 50, it'll automatically send them to a website or a video or another quiz. If they got above an 80, it'll maybe give them a deeper learning experience or something like that. So you'll see. So if I were to go like assign this little heart quiz, so I'm just going to assign it for now. The second thing after I assign it is that a little screen is going to pop up, and it's going to say to me right here, what are your follow-up activities? So for this one, it basically says I can choose resources that they got below a certain score or within a certain score, which I think is a really, really cool feature. And you can see the options there. So that's one aspect about this that I think makes it very cool and unique. The second is, if you're like me, a lot of times I would give a quiz, and then let's just say I give a science quiz about, like, I don't know, genetics. And some questions were about mitosis or DNA. I'd almost look at my quiz and try to figure out, like, all right, what area do people struggle with? Was it most of the DNA questions or mitosis? And you can kind of generally look at it and figure it out. But what this does is that if you're going to make like a new quiz, every single question, it gives you the option to put a topic that it is. So for your question, you see your subtopic that it is. It can be something like DNA, and you'll make a new topic. And then for every question, so let me do this. You'll label it DNA. And so for all your DNA questions, you can put that, mitosis questions, or you'll see it can even link to standards, which is really cool. But either way, when the quiz is over, it does the work for you, and it kind of summarizes, okay, this is the area of the quiz, the topic within your quiz that people struggle with or were the strongest with. So those to me are the two features that make this quiz site a little bit different and potentially better than some of the other sites. Now, that was what makes it good. So if you want to stop it and get exploring, go for it. If you want to sit tight for a second, I'll just show you exactly how to kind of get yourself all started. So it's really easy to start assigning a quiz. So what you need to do is basically create a class. So go up here, you go add new class, and you'll see you can sync all your classes to Google Classroom, which is great. So I only have a couple, but you can grab any classes that you want and create it, and then it'll automatically create your class. Now, just don't be scared when you input your class and there's no kids in there, because the way it works is after you assign your first quiz to that class and they actually click on a link, it'll have them automatically join your classroom, and then they'll be in your classroom. So it's really nice because you'll see on a student end, so from a student end, it just looks like this in Google Classroom. It just basically says, here's the assignment your teacher sent to you, and they click on it, and it automatically logs them in using their Google account, and it automatically brings them right to the quiz. So that's another feature about this that I love, is that there's hopefully avoiding getting 1,000 emails of how do I use this, whatever it is, and it just basically gives them a quiz that looks like this, very clean, and so on and so forth. So that is how you assign it to your Google Classroom. And then if you actually want to make a quiz, like I said, it's pretty intuitive. It's a lot like a lot of other quizzes out there. But I'll just show you a couple of the things. So besides the subtopics, it lets you input stuff from Quizlet. If you have already stuff made from Quizlet, that option was there, I promise. There's like math mode. You can do images, audio. It's basically geared towards multiple choice. If you don't do multiple choice, it still works, but you'll see it's kind of like a word scramble. I don't think it's honestly the best choice, so I would stick with multiple choice. But it lets you just really easily make your questions, add explanations, things like that. You can pull in and search for questions from other people, which is really nice because there's tons of resources that are out there. And so when you go to create your quiz, it's pretty simple. You just kind of create it. And then again, after your quiz is done, it's really easy. I don't know if you saw at the bottom, it just says basically save and give to class. You'll see I can assign it to my class, and there's a couple options there. When you assign it, you can assign it as like live, which wouldn't work right now if you're doing remote learning. Homework, which is great, so you can have all these options. You can do it multiple times. They can't finish the quiz until they master every question, all these different options. Or if you want to have it like straight up like an exam, you click on this and it basically turns off all the things that you wouldn't want them to know in the middle of an exam, which is really, really nice. Okay, that's it, for real. I'm done. Check it out. It's definitely worth exploring if you're tired of some of the other sites for giving quizzes.